Good morning, beautiful people. Hope everybody is well on this Wednesday midweek. We are about to talk about the 5 pillars to prosperity. So we'll be picking up where we left off yesterday. Do apologize for some reason. My video didn't get posted until very late last night or maybe even this morning. For the one I did for Tuesday's takeover. And during that one, we talked about something extremely important, and that was, putting time and effort into your family and your loved ones. So hope y'all get a chance to review that one, and please give me any feedback if you have it. And if you want me to go deeper into that subject matter, I got a lot to talk about on it. So I would be happy to do another follow-up segment on that if you'd like. But today specifically, we're going to go into the 3rd pillar, which has to do with, spending time and putting in effort with your finances. And that kind of touches on a few things. So when I say putting time and effort into your finances, really what I'm honing in on is your career or your job, number one, because that's, or your business if you're a business owner, right? Because that's where you are most likely getting your main stream of income. Now, for some of you that are maybe a little bit more advanced and, down the road on your journey for being financially stable and, wealthy, you could also include things of investments, right? Whether that's your stock portfolio, 401k, if you dabble in crypto, if, you have investment properties in the real estate industry, all sorts of different things that, you could possibly be generating other forms of income. But for your average person, usually we're talking about, your job, your career, and that's usually going to be your main source of income, if not your only source of income. So really want to hone in on that. And, when you're talking about finances, you really also got to include your spending habits. So first and foremost is, what I want to touch on is if you have a job or a career, then, the best way that you could try to gain or increase your income is by becoming the subject matter expert in whatever it is that you do. Elevate yourself and be the absolute best at whatever service or product that you provide. So, that's going to be done through experience, but also that's going to be done through learning and education. And in today's world, you don't have to go to college to, get that type of education for most, if not all things. There are a lot of other avenues out there to really make yourself more valuable within whatever field you're in. And, I'm always a huge believer in books, a huge believer in audiobooks and paperback, but also YouTube. YouTube has taught me a tremendous amount on a wide variety of subjects. So I would super encourage anyone to supplement your learning and your education and gain more knowledge through, YouTube, because you can get really targeted, knowledge through that. So, that is number one. And what I want to touch on, and I really don't mean to discourage or put anybody down, but what I want to touch on are the folks that they have multiple jobs or side hustles, right? And the reason why I say it like that is because most of the folks, and it's not all, but it's the very high majority of folks that I know that have multiple jobs, they are no better off than, people that have one solid job or career that they are just putting their time and their focus on. And then also, in addition to that, most folks that have these side hustles, and again, not all, but most of them, I like to actually just call them hobbies, because, they've got 2, 3, 4 different things that, they say they do, that they're, trying to get a little side hustle on, but really, it's more like they're just dabbling. It's more of a hobby. It's not actually really generating them, any real type of income, or should I say steady streams of income. It might be, every once in a while, they might get a little something. So what I encourage you to do is stay focused and find what you're passionate about and focus on that. Make yourself, again, an expert in that. Put all your time and energy concerning, what it is that you're doing into that career field, into that subject matter, until you are the absolute go-to best person for that. Because somebody who is a specialist will always get paid more than somebody who just has the general knowledge or is like a jack of all trades. That is a fact. So, typically if you're putting in really good effort and you truly want to be the best at whatever career field or subject it is that you are involved with within your job or career, is 3 to 5 years. Right? Some people might be like, oh man, I can't wait 3 to 5 years. But you know what? I'm telling you, 3 to 5 years goes by super quick. And if you are really disciplined and you are willing to put in the time and the effort, right, to get yourself the knowledge to become the subject matter expert, within 3 to 5 years, you will be in the top 1% of whatever it is that you're doing, making yourself extremely valuable, and you will see great things happening within your life, within your career, within your finances. So that is tip number 1 for time and effort into your finances. Number 2, though, is, for whatever reason, most of us, we don't do a monthly budget, or really a profit and loss, if you will. And that's something that, especially with today, the technology that we have, you can go online, Google, monthly budget, household budget, monthly, household profit and loss. And these are very simple programs or spreadsheets that you're able to easily access to really get a handle on your finances and more or less your spending. And so I want to quickly segue into your spending. And I talked briefly about this in the 12 secrets to success. Now, your spending is very important. It's honestly not how much you make, it's how much you save and how much you invest, right? So if you're making $50,000 a year, but you're spending $50,000 in overhead, on your bills, right? Rent, food, utilities, gas, insurance, car payments, credit cards, and the like, well then, you're not doing too well. Same thing, you'd be making $200,000 a year, but if your expenses are $200,000 a year, you are still no better off, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you actually have positive cash flow, right? Positive cash flow by the end of every single month. And that positive cash flow, that's what you're going to be using to make sure you have your emergency fund of 6 months. That's what you're going to be using to make sure that, you're able to contribute to your 401k if you have one, and also invest in other type of things like we had talked about earlier, whether that's, setting up your own stock portfolio, whether that's saving to, get a secondary house for rental income, dabbling in crypto. There are so many different options out there to try to get yourself financially stable and to a point where eventually you're going to have financial success. So, when it comes to spending money, limit yourself as much as you can to only what you absolutely need, right? Now, I'm not saying don't have fun. You can absolutely, create yourself a like a vacation fund as well. I know that's something that I like to do. But again, you can't do that unless you have a profit and loss, unless you know everything that you have coming in and everything that you have going out in expenses. So highly encourage you to do that. And, if you guys are able to do those things, then I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to see huge success when it comes to your guys' finances, when it comes to your career, and ultimately when it comes to your happiness, because as everyone knows, you know, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when you can't pay your bills, when you can't, you know, even take a mediocre vacation, then the world isn't as great of a place to be in. And you have the weight of the bill collectors and just not being able to really just breathe and relax, knowing that everything's okay. So anyhow, got a lot more that I can talk about on this. Highly encourage anybody who struggles in this area. If you wanted to, you know, reach out to me, definitely through, you know, phone call, text, send me a message, put something in the comments. But, you know, preferably, you know, do it on a level that you're comfortable with. Reach out to me, and, you know, we can spend a little bit of time, and I can definitely help you with some further tips and, you know, help you make some adjustments to where you will definitely be on the road to having the financial success that I know we all want. Anyhow, y'all, this one got a little bit long, but it's extremely important, and there's a lot to really kind of wrap our arms around. But with that, I hope you have a blessed day. Love you guys. If you like the content, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button and make sure you share this with friends and family. Take care. Peace.